Here is my face scan, everybody. What is that? Who is that? The struggles of face scanning. This was my first attempt, but lucky for me, on my second attempt, this is what I got, a much better result. That looks clean, and it was so easy on the cell phone. Only my second attempt. Maybe something bad happened on the first attempt. It's actually funny because the first time I was outside and it was bad. This time I did this in my bathroom. The hairstyles haven't changed much, especially for me, the kind of hair that I have. This is the same hair I had in last year's game. I wish we had access to better hairstyles. Now it's time to pick my play style. I am a point guard, and Playmaker is the best point guard build. Sharpshooter, you can shoot. You can get your shooting up into the 90s, but look at your layup. You max out with the 7-level layup. You can't really shoot off the dribble. Your speed is halfway. It's gonna be like 79 or 80. Your playmaking isn't that good. With all these new dribble moves and ankle breakers, you wanna be Playmaker. You wanna have that max speed, max playmaking, decent 3-point mid-range shooting. I had to go with Playmaker. These caps are pretty strict. They're very strict this year, and I don't wanna be able to not do layups and not have speed. Shot creator is okay, but the playmaking is only halfway. So you got good agility, you got pretty good shooting, but your playmaker's only halfway. This might be a tempting option for people, but the 3-point rating is actually lower than the playmaker, even though the shoot off the dribble is higher. Slasher, you can do layups and dunks, you have the speed, but your playmaker's not maxed out either, and your shooting is terrible. So slasher, I'm not really trying to be a slasher. Then there's lockdown defender, and this is even worse. You got defense, you got agility, your playmaking is terrible, your shooting is terrible. This is a terrible play style for a point guard, so you have to go with Playmaker. I'm gonna show my attribute caps in a sec at Playmaker, but first let me show you the height and everything else, because your height and weight and wingspan are gonna tie into these ratings. So I'm going with a 6'3" point guard. I'm 6'2" in real life, but I'm just gonna go with 6'3", and it's mainly because of the wingspan. If you lower your wingspan, your shooting ratings will be slightly better. When I lower my wingspan as a 6'3" point guard, I'm gonna have a better wingspan than a 6'2" point guard, but the ratings are gonna be almost the same. The caps. Here's an example. When I go as low as possible at 75 inches, you see that everything's going up. Off the dribble shooting, mid-range 3-point shooting. If I go all the way up, now the ratings are going down, and this is your cap, the max ability that you can get in those categories. So this is important. So we're gonna go down to 75. If I was 6'2", then I would be at 74 something inches. Now we're gonna go over to the weight. I'm 205 in real life, but I'm gonna go down to 195 because that's gonna help me out with my speed, my lateral quickness. When you're making your character, you really need to pay attention to all of this. Your weight, your height, your wingspan. This is very important because it's gonna give you a few extra points in categories that you want. Because like I said before, the caps are very strict. So let me show you the caps now. Here are my attribute caps for shooting off the dribble. You can see that I'm gonna have an 80 shot off dribble. The layups are gonna be 81, 82. Driving dunk is gonna be 72. So this is good. With 72, you can still dunk the ball. You're not gonna be able to posterize like crazy, but you'll still be able to dunk. If you go with sharpshooter, your dunking is gonna be so low. It's gonna be in the 60s, maybe the 50s, maybe low 60s. My mid-range shooting is gonna cap at 81, which is pretty decent. And don't forget, with those temporary boosts, you can boost each category by +5, so that's pretty good. My 3-point shooting will cap at 74. That's actually the best for any other build besides sharpshooter. Sharpshooter, you will be able to have a 93, but all those other categories that are so important like speed, my speed caps at 94. If you go with sharpshooter, you're gonna be capped at 78, 79. You're gonna have to make your player very short if you wanna go a little bit higher than that. Strength does not matter much. Rebounding doesn't matter much. The playmaker also is gonna go all the way up to 94 ball control, 94 speed with the ball. This is beautiful. Yes, the 3-ball is low, but guess what? All the other positions are lower except for sharpshooter. It's crazy. The caps are so strict. But anyway, let's get into the first cutscene. Gameplay is coming up next. Enjoy.
most. I mean, we saw everything.
Yeah, all of it, honestly. The good, the bad, the wins, the losses. It's a lot like boxing, man. It's really about the opponent within yourself. It's the most important, right? You win that battle, then you win the rest of them.
It's a game within the game. My man. All right. Well, welcome to... What am I doing? I got you right here. Can you do the honors?
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to NBA 2K17's MyCareer mode. Enjoy.
See, that was great.
Right?
Yeah.
Good?
I felt it. I mean, I felt like you meant it.
I felt it too.
Okay. I felt it too.
They better not have a better career than mine.
What happens if they do?
I'm about to lace these things back up.
Right back in it.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to.
Yo, Coach Falls, check out my highlight reel. Not bad, right?
Oh, I know I didn't teach you that.
Oh, you definitely didn't teach me that. No, I learned that in AAU and summer ball.
Oh, come on. There's no fundamentals. It's all flash and sparkles. And you know what?
Sparkles?
These kids, yeah, sparkles. I'm surprised you didn't have the Globetrotters anthem theme song playing on that thing. You know, these kids, they come to me every year wanting to be you, and I have to start all over again from scratch. Next time you make a highlight video, do me a favor and yourself and put it on there with chest passes and mid-range jump shots.
Okay, look, those moves were just for the highlight reel. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a student of the game.
Yeah, you're a student of me. I'll put the ball in your hands.
Hey, you think if I tell EJ and Kenny that you're my favorite player, they'll think that's funny?
Hey, you know what? I ain't gonna put nothing past those guys. They might. And all I gotta do is just make a highlight reel from old VHS copies of my old games to substantiate your claim.
Uh-oh, a whole VHS copy, huh? You might get like, 12 views from that. Like every player on your team might watch that. That's a pretty good number.
I'll get a baker's dozen, because you better watch. Because what you just showed me on that phone, man, you need to make sure that you stay familiar with the fundamentals.
Oh, I'll definitely give it a watch.
You know where you're going yet?
Mike?
You're not gonna tell me?
Not yet.
1 million views, high school All-American. Safe to say the world will be watching you, Mr. President.
Yep.
Can you handle it?
Think so. This is a big decision. What college am I gonna pick?
Here's the 10 schools that you can choose from when you start your career. Last year, I went to Kansas. So this year, I'm not going there. This year, I'm gonna go to Georgetown like Allen Iverson did. Let's do this.
24 Seconds with Jason Richmond.
The #1 high school player in the country has chosen the Georgetown Hoyas. In a particularly clever video he recorded with an American flag draped behind him, in some homage to the president. Apparently. Who knows? Maybe this kid aspires to be the president of basketball. I don't know what kids these days think, but I do think this kid has potential. But it's overcoming the obstacles that make you great. He's off to a great start with his college choice, no doubt. But he has to focus on the game.
There goes the first down. Oh, he fumbled. He fumbled the ball. Wow, in the clutch. And that's going to take them to 4th down. They're going to go for the tie, the field goal. They tie the game. Wow.